Bring to order November 8th, 2021, Austintown Township Trustee meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Crano?
Here.
Mr. Kent?
Here.
Mr. Davis?
Here.
Kent, would you chair?
Chair.
So a little roll call. Mr. Henshaw, our Senior Center Director. Todd Schaefer is our Park Supervisor. Chief Bob Gavalier is our Police Chief. Darren Chabella is our Zoning Inspector. Chief Andy Frost is on vacation. He is our Fire Chief. Mike Dockery is our Administrator / Road Superintendent. Laura Wolf is our Fiscal Officer. To my left is Trustee Jim Davis. To my right is Trustee Ken Carano, and I am Trustee Steve. Motion to approve minutes of the regular meeting of October 25th, 2020.
So moved and second.
Mr. Kent?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Crano?
Yes.
We have a presentation tonight. This is Anna DeSantis from
Famous.
from Cdbg presentation.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Anna DeSantis. I work for the Mahoning County Commissioner's Office, the Special Projects Office, and we manage the Community Development Block Grant and also the Community Housing Improvement Program through the county. And this year, Austintown Township received an improvement project over off Mahoning, some paving on the side streets. The name is escaping me right now. Mike,
Couple of them, Carnegie,
yeah, Carnegie, over in that area,
Yes.
kind of split up. in,
North Wycliffe,
North Wycliffe?
yeah.
Thank you. So part of our responsibility as a county is to complete outreach and education regarding fair housing in our communities, especially those communities that receive funding through the grants. And as I stated before, the township was successful in obtaining a grant for a small resurfacing project over there in the North Wycliffe area. The Community Housing Improvement Program is by site, address, low to moderate income qualifications, and our lead department operates the improvement program. I am, however, the Fair Housing Coordinator for Mahoning County. So what fair housing is basically the responsibility of the community to maintain adequate representation for persons who feel like they may have been discriminated against based under the Ohio Civil Rights or the National Civil Rights Act of protected classes, race, color, national origin, religion, has a veteran status and familial status. If you feel or know somebody has been denied housing based on any of those protected classes, what you would do is refer them to me, to my office. I brought some brochures, which I'm glad to see you already have publicly displayed. Brochures and information on how to advise a citizen to make a complaint, and with my telephone number and so forth. I'll basically help them locally as much as I could through legal aid or Mahoning Valley dispute resolution. But should the offense rise to the occasion, I would then help them, either way, I would help them fill out a form. But should it rise to the occasion that we can't find a result locally, it will be referred to the Ohio Civil Rights Commission, which our regional office is located in Akron, Ohio. Do you have any questions for me?
I read the brochure.
Yeah, the brochures are there. There's also some other handouts that identify completely the whole, how it would proceed through the process if somebody did have to make a complaint. Some examples of what is illegal. If I went to buy a property or even rent an apartment and you told me I can't use the pool, why can't I use the pool? I feel as though you are discriminating against me because you don't want my kids there or for whatever reason. It is a good idea to have somebody witness the statement if you have been, told no on any occasion and why. I mean, of course, a witness is always better, but you want to document everything that occurred in the process. Or if I try to buy a home and I'm falsely told that it's already being sold, and I feel as though it's because they do not want a family, or anyone of my race, color, or familial status, or any of the protected classes to move into that property.
And have you, you've been there a while, I know you can't tell us the names, but have you had people from Austintown come in, please?
Actually, no. I've never had anyone from Austintown call. I get boardmen in the city of Youngstown quite a few times. Camel, Struthers. But no, never have I received a complaint from Austintown. I've been there 20 years, so, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Is the funding for next year looking great, or?
For the CDBG projects and applications, we haven't actually been told what our allocation is yet, but we typically fund 4 to 6 projects, whenever the state decides that we're allowed to fund. And we'll open up that application process sometime in February. We'll make a notice, we'll have a public hearings and give everybody the rundown on how to make the application.
Awesome.
Okay,
Appreciate that, thank you.
can I just leave this with you?
Thank you for your time.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you, Ann.
Thank you. I'm gonna excuse myself.
Yeah.
Oh,
Have a good evening.
You don't have to stay.
Sit through this spot. They only pay me so much every time. Yeah.
And Mike, you want to give your report?
Oh, absolutely.
The only thing I need to report is refer you to new business.
Yes.
You'll see where there is a opiate settlement that needs to be approved. The prosecutor's office is telling me this is different from the one you approved a few months ago.
Okay.
So that's the reason this is on here.
Is this presented by them?
Yes, they put it all together.
Chief? Yeah?
The only thing I want to add is, a few years ago, Officer Dan Birch approached me about No Shave November, and I just want to say the guys are doing it again this year, so you can see officers wearing beards. It's to raise money to support prostate cancer awareness, so teaming up with Man Up Mahoney Valley. Each officer donated $30. There's over $1,000 raised this year. They're going to give to Man Up Mahoney Valley, and then they talked me into not only November, but they want to do December. They want to still wear their beards, so we came up with they're going to raise money for toys for children here in Austintown that are in need of it. So
Just like they did last year.
yes, and then they try to do for October for something else.
Is the police chief going to have them here?
I couldn't grow up.
We donate? We'll donate to it so I can just screw it up.
They want to wear it year round. So. Oh, that's all I have.
Chief Ross is on vacation. Our wonderful Darren.
I just want to advise the board, the staff, and the zoning office is clean shaven. I would ask the board to approve a nuisance resolution of Ohio Revised Code 505-2087, 4693 Barrington Drive, let's jump in the ring. That's a house that's been vacant a couple of years and a half cul-de-sac at Barrington and Inwood. It was bought by a company in Arizona, and they have been working there for about the last year or so. But every time they do work, they throw everything in the driveway and then they disappear. The neighbors are telling us they've been out there for 2 weeks. So it'd be nice if they get a dumpster. And 269 North Beverly, jumping debris throughout the property and at the curb. The jump at the curb was excessive. I asked the contractor to remove it today, but there's still debris throughout the yard. And the neighbor who complained about this has been out there for like 2 or 3 months. That's it.
So moved. Second?
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Creel?
Yes.
Mr. Kent?
Yes.
And then I'd ask the board to approve a motion finding the following motor vehicles to meet the following criteria: 3 model years or older, apparently inoperable, ostensibly jammed, including but not limited to any of the following: missing wheels, tires, engine, or transmission, and be declared public nuisance on Ohio Vice Code 505.87, and order the removal of junk vehicles within 14 days after notice is served to the property owner. 74 Mile Road, an inoperable, non-licensed green and gray Chevy Cobalt LS parked exposed manner within the driveway. That is a very well-known property to us and to the board. That's also viable to Elves. 2539 Oak Ridge Drive, an inoperable white 1998 Ford Lincoln with expired license plate DBX 6347, parked and exposed manner within the driveway. An inoperable white 1998 Ford pickup truck with expired license plate BX42CR, parked and exposed manner within the driveway. That house is vacant. The owner passed away, and the board cleaned that house. They cleaned up the property, I think, about a month ago. And these cars have been sitting there, and they've been there for a while. Parcel 48-010-00001.010 Great Block 9, South Meridian Road, an inoperable white 1996 Chevrolet SW expired license plate FYQ 2225, parked exposed manner of the property. An inoperable dark blue Oldsmobile with expired front license plate FHJ 9479, parked exposed manner of the property. An inoperable non-licensed dark blue Chevrolet Trailblazer parked exposed manner of the property. This is a vacant lot, and the best description I can give you is across the street in Youngstown is the, I think it's the PNC Bank. If you drive, you'll see the 3 cars. 4386 Mahoney Avenue, an inoperable red Grand Prix with expired license plate HBL 2218, parked and exposed man with a driveway with missing right front wheel and tire. This is the house that's right next to that healthcare facility at Raccoon and Mahoney, that home healthcare facility. This is the first house abutting to the east.
So moved. Seconded?
Mr. Crane?
Yes.
Mr. Kent?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Hey Darren, on that parcel, do we know if those cars belong to that gentleman, or?
The one does not belong to that owner. The other 2, short of running the bin, I don't know who owns them, but the owner will get a license plate. I don't know that he has to lease them. They've been there a while.
Well, no, I was just wondering if we tow them, but.
Well, the owner of the property will get a letter, and I expect no response to the car with the plate that came back. They'll get a letter, and I think the other plate came back as not being filed.
What about Chick-fil-A and our car wash and so on?
The mod wash is moving along, building looks good. They wanted, they're shooting for Thanksgiving. They cleaned out, at the very beginning, there's a retention pond behind there. They cleaned that out. They put a fence up for the requirements of the Board of Appeals. And believe me, if you walk in there, it doesn't look anything like a skating rink. But that's moving along. Chick-fil-A is moving along. It's interesting, I've got pictures of before they poured the floor. They've got each electrical wire and its own conduit. I mean, it's kind of amazing.
Really?
It's first class software. Yeah, they said if you know, if they have a short somewhere, it's only going to affect that one piece of equipment. It's really, it looks pretty high tech
Nice.
for electrical wiring, but that's moving along.
Great, thank you. Motion to schedule a trustees public hearing for final determination of amendment 2021-02-Z on Monday, November 22nd, 2021, at the time to determine pursuant to the letter of certification dated October 29th from the Austintown Zoning Commission.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, can we change that motion to schedule that hearing to Monday, December 13th at 7 p.m.?
Yes.
I'll make the motion then to schedule a public hearing for amendment 2021-02-Z on Monday, December 13th at 7 p.m.
And seconded?
Mr. Kent?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Kraft?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
All I have is, first 3 days of this week, we'll be making our final cut at all the parks, the satellite parks, and the main park. And the second half of the week, we'll spend, when it turns bad, we'll spend taking down the nets for the tennis courts, pickleball courts, and taking all the rest of the summer stuff down. And the beginning of next week, we'll make our transition from our summer stuff, put it in storage and bring it all in, the winter stuff. Get ready for our first snow whenever that decides to fly.
Hopefully.
Hopefully we'll be waiting.
It'll be a
Yeah,
May.
waiting,
It'll be
yeah.
a May, June.
Not May.
That's all I have this week.
All right, Mr. Henshaw?
Well, we're aging gracefully over there. We usually do that. Good. I got a couple things I want to talk about, just briefly. First off, I'd like to commend Direction Home. That used to be the agency on aging, District 11, that changed their name to Direction Home. They have been coming in and meeting with our members in the library to go over their Medicare, which is something that's very confusing to a lot of people of the different types out there. You see all the ads on TV right now, but they all go away on December 7th because that's the deadline for signing up. But they've been doing an excellent job, and I'm getting compliments from the people coming out and saying, I didn't know that, with the stuff they've been telling. They don't sell insurance, they don't do any of that stuff, so they're really a neutral body that's saying out there, this is what you need to be looking for. And I'm very happy that they're coming in because we needed something like that. People are confused sometimes about how Medicare works and things like that. Second thing, I'd like to commend Eric Newton. Eric, wake up. I'm talking about you. He's been doing a thankless job. We have a Christmas party coming up, and he's been out beating the pavement, getting door prize donations for the thing. And him and a few other people have been. Well, let's put it this way, if it gets too many more, we'll probably have to rent a storage space to hold them all.
Awesome.
So he's been doing an excellent job on that. And on a lighter note, our fencing class has doubled in size. It's amazing, and the ones that are in there are really, really into it. So if you ever tried fencing, great for if you have a balance problem. We have an extremely good instructor. She's also a physics professor at YSU. Teaches fencing for us. And that's about it.
Okay, very good. Laura?
Well, we just finished October, obviously, so now it's crunch time. I have to look through everybody's budgets and make sure they're staying within what they were given, or if they didn't, then we have to determine how we're going to finish out funding them so that they can finish the year. I didn't start looking at it yet. I mean, it's close. I know I have a couple departments that are a little over on the budget, but that usually happens near the end of the year. And it's nothing extraordinary. It's more or less payroll and payroll-related expenses.
Motion to accept October reports submitted to the board for review, fund status, revenue status, and appropriation status.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Mr. Kent?
Yes. All right, under new business, motion to execute the participation agreement as noted. Whereas the Board of Austintown Trustees desire to execute the participation agreement related to the July 21st, 2021 Janssen Settlement Agreement, which is available in full at https://nationalopiatesettlement.com.
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Mr. Kent?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
All right, this part of our meeting, we ask for public response. If someone wants to come up, state your name on camera, state your
There's
name and
another
address.
motion there. Are we not doing that after that?
Oh, it got tucked in. I missed it too.
All right, hold on one second. Motion to approve a lease for 1,100 square foot with Brianna Crumpek at Westchester Building for a 5-year term.
So move.
Second?
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Grant?
Yes.
And that's gonna be a beauty salon,
I have no idea.
Alright, now, back to the public response. You can go on camera or off camera. Please come up to the podium, state your name and address. Or stand when it's on. It was already running.
Good evening. Sam Swatter, 4492 Ohio Road. First, I'd just like to thank Mr. Carano and Mr. Davis for all their years of service to not only to the community, but their departments, and to our veterans groups, especially our post 301, and to the work and effort at 911 Memorial. Without your help, we couldn't have done a lot of the stuff we've done here. Not only you two, but Steve and the rest of the departments also, with all your help. Especially the park department. And, but another thing I wanted to do is, we had a problem, I guess, Lieutenant Jacobo from Austintown PD, along with Sergeant Darth Lawson, Canfield PD, had called me and notified me of a theft at the chapel at the 911 Memorial, and sent me some photos. Here, a gentleman, I guess he has some mental problems because he's at the hospital right now. I guess he came into our chapel, stole the Bible from the altar, the crucifix from the wall, and a couple other items. But in turn, he left three $20 bills. And I'm not saying it to be funny, because the gentleman has some problems. And when he was caught by Canfield PD, he said he paid for the items. And he stole the fireman's flag that was posted at the Fireman's Memorial in Pentagon Memorial. But they did get him because he broke into a church in Canfield and hid in a storage room, boarded himself up in there, tried to crawl out through the ceiling, came out second floor window and broke his arm. So that's where they found him. They found him at the post office, huddled in a corner, wrapping manila bag folders that you use to send stuff as a splint. But I'd like to thank Lieutenant Jacobo and Sergeant Josh Wells from Canfield PD for doing that for us and getting the items back. And they had asked me if I wanted to press charges. And, right now, I'm not doing it. I just want to let you know that you are co-chairman. Only because the gentleman does have some problems, and he donated $60 to the memorial. So, you know, there's a lot of people out there hurting, and it's not my job to judge people. The only other thing I have is Austintown Fitch High School band, chili cook-off. They did a great job. It was a great event. American Legion Post 301, we're the ones that posted colors, not the DAB Chapter 2. They never showed up. So they contacted us on Friday, along with Mr. Santos, and to do the color guard and to be the judges. So, but it went over real well.
I heard the fix was in on the chili.
Not the judges. That was the people's choice. My wife won the people's choice. I don't know why. I don't know how, because I've eaten the chili before. No, but that's the people's choice. But there's one
You
other.
go to a chili cook-off, you need like a can of Lysol when you get home, and hope to heck that the bathroom's open, because I was a judge once, and I think I ate about 18 bowls of chili.
Yeah, so, but There was another thing, a great event there also. One of our finest, Sergeant Kathy Dina, was honored there that night. And he's not upset with the chief because he knew about it. She did not know about it. He just assigned her that job until somebody spilled the beans through her about 3 minutes before they started calling her name on for the job she does with the school system, and that's she was honored. And I congratulate Detective Sergeant Casadina. That's all I gotta say. Congratulations to the individuals who won the election. Just keep this township the way it's been going. It's been going awesome ever since I've been here for almost 40 years. And congratulations to individuals who won, and you guys. I'll see you guys anyhow. Thank you very much for all you've done.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sam.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Anybody else on camera?
I'm Jim Cutchell. My wife and I live at 5287 Northwest. And we're interested in buying the one piece of property next to the borders our property.
Okay.
The trustees, we talked about this, and I do apologize for not getting back to you. What we had talked about, they're willing to do, and I apologize. It's buried on my desk, but no, we took this up with them, and they're willing to do that. And just give me, I'll get you something out this week.
No, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Another thing too, probably about 6 years ago, they put a new telephone pole in front of my house. They never took the old one out. It's been 6 years. The big mound of dirt there.
Send me an email on that, because I've got like an email to a person who can get, that's not the first time I've heard that. Just shoot me an email, and while I got your email, remind me this time to get back to you.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks. Anybody else on camera? Anybody off camera? Remarks from the board. Want me to go, or before you guys get long-winded?
The Steelers are playing tonight.
All right.
He wants to go. He wants to go watch the game. That little kid wants to watch the game, and I want to watch the game.
All right.
There is no long win tonight.
Very good. Mr. Davis, go ahead.
Just quickly, a couple of quick things. On December 2nd, I spoke with Mrs. Austintown this evening, earlier today, Joyce Pogany. Just to inform everybody, we will be having our tree lighting ceremony at Whitcliffe Circle's Fire Station. That is on December 2nd, so we look forward to seeing everybody there. Obviously, we want to allow everybody to know Santa Claus will make an appearance. However, because the fire station is closed due to COVID-19 protocols, all of our firemen, there's a masking policy for our fire stations, and masks are required in those buildings. Santa will not be inside with people sitting on his lap like he normally would be. We're going to work through this and try to figure out how we're going to go about doing this safely so that the kids can still walk by and see Santa. And the Junior Women's League and Joyce are orchestrating something with them so that we could pass out either chocolates or candy or some type of cookies to the kids as they participate. But we're finalizing all the details for that, but we look forward to seeing everybody on December 2nd at the Whitcliffe tree lighting ceremony at our fire station. I quickly want to talk about election night, and I'm not talking about the trustee election, but quickly I want to talk about the sales tax that was on the ballot that passed. There was an article in the Vindicator just recently talking about this, and I can tell you, I was the vice president of the Mahoney County Township Association for the past 2 years and played a large role in this being placed on the ballot. Trustee Carano was on the ad hoc committee that did the research for this. And so some interesting thought process behind all of this was that there are 14 townships in Mahoney County that were participants in bringing this to the county or to the county commissioners along with the county engineer. When meeting with those 14 townships, one township stood out And they had made promises to their community that they would not increase taxes. And that was, and I'm okay with saying that it was Poland Township. Poland Township had a bond levy on the ballot just recently, and they passed that to pave all the roads in their community. And they had asked for that increase from their constituents in their community. And so they felt that they didn't want to pursue this because it was an additional tax and it went against their promise to their the people that they serve. And we didn't have an objection to that. We understood their reasoning. Ironically, they were the largest community that supported this and passed this initiative. Was Poland Township. So Poland obviously likes great roads. But the interesting thing about it was that also while negotiating this with Engineer Genetti to pursue it and to bring it to the county commissioners was the concern that the cities and villages do not have county roads in them. They have bridges. And that is all the county is responsible for in those communities. So there was obviously a grave concern that this would not pass in the cities and villages. It overwhelmingly passed in the city of Youngstown by 1,500 votes. The city of Youngstown stood up and stood behind it. Canfield City, Struthers, and Camden, okay? As well as all the villages. Now when it comes to the townships, Austintown voted it down by over 300 votes. Now, what I'd like to explain about this and why I'm disheartened by that is that we have 2 new elected officials and we want to set them up for the best case scenario when they take office and they take over for us. And Ken and I have tried to do that along with Trustee Kent and all these department heads. They've done a great job. They'll have an $850,000 carryover in the budget thanks to Lori and her staff and the great work they do. They're going to receive over $3.8 million in ARP funding from the American Rescue Plan. And now, because the sales tax passed, starting in 2023, Austintown Township will receive $725,000 per year that will be used for your roads. This is a huge impact and will be a great benefit to those elected officials and Trustee Kent to be able to pave your roads. You heard Anna Diascendis talk about Cdbg funding. When we are looking at these grants, we've got one already in the works for next year. We have to have matching funds for those grants. And when you hear Laura Wolf talk about the money getting tight and we've got to figure out where we're getting money from, well, the first thing we look at is to say, well, then we don't have that matching funds for those grants. That's $725,000 now that they could use that if they wanted to apply for a $7.25 million grant, they've got the 10%. Do you know how many roads you can pave with $7.25 million? Quite a lot. I've got to say hats off to Pat Genetti, our county engineer. Mahoney County is blessed to have Pat in that office. Pat takes a lot of heat from a lot of people for things not getting done in what they feel is a timely fashion. However, things take time, folks. Pat has always answered a phone call when we've reached out to him, no matter who it is, whether it's Mike, one of our board members here. When we reach out to Pat, he picks up the phone and answers it. If not, I can't tell you that there's been a day gone by where he doesn't call me by the end of the night to take that phone call or to return that phone call. I've called Pat personally at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night about county road problems in Austintown, and he answers the call. So the simple fact in the presentation that he put together to present this to the commissioners, and then also he went to every township, every city, and every village to promote this in the course of the past, and literally, folks, this, because of the time frame, he had 3 months to do this. He got it done, it passed, and congratulations to the 2 of you, because you've now got some money to pave some roads in Austintown, and we hope you and Trustee Kent pave our roads first, okay? So thank you.
Absolutely.
But hats off. But I would just ask that the residents of Austintown, because when I brought this up to a couple of people, I didn't realize that's what it was for. please, when initiatives like this are on the ballot, please pay more attention because this is so very important. I want to take a moment and congratulate Robert and Monica. Congratulations to both of you on your election. You both ran and worked very hard. Robert, you've knocked on over 8,000 doors. I think you're crazy. That is nuts. Talk about you know, the Marine marching in. I mean, that's quite a feat, and you know, I look forward to seeing what you both do. I know you guys, Robert, first of all, if you work as hard for Austintown as you did in these past couple of months, we'll be okay. Monica, you do a great job at Charlie's Restaurant. If you run this township like you run your business, best wishes, because you do a good job down there at Charlie's.
Thank you
Wish
very
you
much.
nothing
Means a
but
lot.
success.
Thank you.
Listen, I wish you nothing but success. I'll do everything I can to make sure this transition is seamless because, like I said on election night, if you win, Austintown wins. And that's the most important thing to me, is to see this community flourish. I live here. I want to see it continue to grow. I'm proud to be a Fitch Falcon. You know, with the saying is once a Falcon, always a Falcon. So, you know, I'm not going anywhere and look forward to seeing you guys succeed. Aside from that, I'll save my comments about Ken for our last meeting. But of course, once again, just please, if you can remember folks on, I hope you can all make it out for the Christmas tree lighting. Hope to see you there. And just a quick note that in the back, Gina Cardillo is in the back filming tonight for Falcon Media. Gina and I go way back. Gina was a student teacher when I was a senior in high school. I don't want to date her. She still looks like she belongs in high school.
I'll take
we'll
it.
give you that compliment, Gina.
I just did.
But it's nice to see you,
Thank
and
you.
I'm certainly going to miss working with you. It's always been a pleasure, and you've done a great job running Austintown Community Television. It's something also that I hold near and dear to my heart. I was talking about cleaning, and I'm going to tell a quick story. I'm like Dave Ditzler here. Always got a story. So I was cleaning out a storage unit. So as I'm cleaning out the storage unit, I'm finding old pictures from like my first election when I ran and won for the first time. And I'm finding newspaper articles and clippings. Believe it or not, I found from 1993, 1994, and 1995, signed by Mr. Porman and Mr. Carano, and Linda Sarber, and I think John Hopper was the other one on there, were my plaques from Austintown Community Television for like best editing, you know, best announcing and things of that sort. So talk about like reliving the 90s. It's amazing what you find when you clean out your storage sheds. So good seeing you, Gina. Thanks for being here and coming tonight.
Oh, thank you. Ditto. But I looked up and I saw Gina here and I said, wow, Gina is the general manager of the Falcon Media, which was Austintown Community Television, and she's over here today. Thank you very much for being here. And I hope I can continue working with you for the longest time. We're still doing the Who's News shows and we'll enjoy ourselves doing it. Let me go on with what Jim was saying about Pat Giannetti. He is by far the best. I'm the old man in the place. I've been around for a long time. And this man is the greatest engineer we've ever had here. One of his biggest philosophies is we buy nothing unless we have the money for it. That was not the philosophy of everyone else before them. They would buy trucks and literally pay on them for almost 30 years. Which was ridiculous to everybody involved. And he was the one who went around and talked to everyone. Yes, Austintown voted some numbers down, so did most of the other townships, but it was close enough for something. When you deal with a levy, a 1% is a giant size accomplishment. And from that, we're going to enjoy ourselves here in Austintown, and our future colleagues will do an excellent job, I'm sure. I want to thank the people of Austintown for passing both of our renewals. The senior center certainly is looking forward to it. It's an outstanding organization, and you know enough to vote for your roads. That's the number one issue in townships at any time going on. Now, I want to get back to us real short. Let me make sure I have everything here. Okay. I've been in politics for well over 30 years. I was a state rep for 8 years. I was twice elected in 20 years ago as a trustee, 20 years here. I've enjoyed myself tremendously. I am a senior citizen. I want to congratulate the two people who ran and who were successful, Monica and Robert. What an outstanding job. I don't feel that I lost. I feel that you won because you worked at it. You worked at things in Austintown that they need to know, they need to say. When you say things during the things, we would love to debate with that issue, but that's not the case. You work so hard that you make me feel good that you're going to be an outstanding group of people. Now, may I suggest also, these wonderful people here will lead you and help you get very well in knowledge of what goes on. But if there's anything, anytime, any place that I could do it, because I love Austintown. I came here in 1969, and I've been here since. I've enjoyed teaching here. I've enjoyed being a politician here, and I'm looking forward to retirement. As a matter of fact, for the first time in almost 27 years, I went down to see my grandkids. I have granddaughters that are 6 and 9, and grandsons that go from 19 to 23 years old. I went down to Columbus, and we went golfing and the whole bit. For the first time in almost 27 years, I didn't get one phone call on Saturday or Sunday. It was unbelievable. It was fantastic. So I'm looking forward to it. You're giving me my, in a sense, a forced retirement, and I'm going to enjoy it. Good luck to you. God bless you, and you're going to need it. Get your phones ready, baby. You're going to need it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. We'll talk about, we'll say that...
Why don't you tell them your secret about the phone calls and how to help the other trustee get all the phone calls?
Well, that's all. When people call me, I just tell them, call Davis.
Ken every once in a while would take pizzas over to the dispatchers at dispatch with my phone number attached to the pizzas. And so, Robert, just leave Monica's phone number with the pizzas, and the dispatchers will handle the rest.
Directions to Charlie's.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute. You know what? You deal with pizzas, you put Monica's name on it? Like you took it from Wedgwood or something? But thank you.
All right, I got a couple things. Congratulations to our Falcons, TJ Parker and the whole football team. Their season ended last Friday in the second round of the playoffs, but what a great season. Those kids poured their hearts out, worked very, very hard. Devin Sherwood, Player of the Year. I mean, just outstanding workmanship there. Congratulations to them. Veterans Day on Thursday, so please, when you're out there and you see a veteran, tell them thank you. Coming from me and the rest of us, Mr. Schaefer, Sam, thank you. Mr. Santos, thank you. I don't know who else. Eric. Thank you very much for your service and your dedication, for your selflessness to protect our country. It's something that some of us never get to do or never want to do, but there's so many out there that do. But so thank you. I talked to ODOT this morning. Their project on Route 11 is going to be on hold. Their funding came up short, so they're still doing soil samples, but they'll be on hold for a little bit. Mr. Santos, Monica, congratulations.
Thank you.
What a great win. You guys worked your tails off. Mr. Davis, Mr. Crano, it's been a pleasure for 2 years. You guys taught me a lot, and I appreciate that.
then.
That's it, that's all I got.
Can I say one other thing? This Jennifer Rodriguez, I don't know if did you guys do shows with her too? Then she's a digital reporter for WKBN. I have to thank her. I think she did an excellent job for every one of our things after that election. There's no animosity, there's no things here, and everybody could see very nicely what it was. So I thank Jennifer.
Motion to recess to executive session for the following: to consider appointment, employment, discipline, or compensation to public employees.
So, and second.
Mr. Kraft?
Yes.
Mr. Kent?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
in association with Austintown Local Schools and Austintown Township.